June 26th, 2026, 7:52 p.m. My friends, let me remind you of what has unfolded in our story. Most of the Saiyans have fallen in battle. Gohan, Goten, and Trunks are down, and only Vegeta remains as the final hope for planet Earth. Meanwhile, Goku must conquer the final trial to achieve the legendary golden transformation before disaster strikes. Frieza is drawing near, and now all the rulers of destruction are planning to destroy Earth under his command. From here begins the most dangerous phase yet. This is a phase where Vegeta carries a responsibility greater than anything he has ever faced before. Through this journey, we will discover the true meaning of sacrifice and the abandonment of pride. Because sometimes, strength is not built upon arrogance or boasting. It is built upon accepting one's limits and continuing to stand despite being broken. This story is not merely about fighting. It is a journey carrying a far deeper meaning. It is a true lesson about willpower and the internal struggle before the external one. So, stay with us until the very end, and do not forget to support us with a like and subscribe. And now, let us begin. Vegeta's rage had finally reached its absolute limit. Belmod stepped forward fearlessly, mocking him. Well then, it seems the real show has finally begun. I thought wiping you out would be boring, but perhaps I will enjoy myself a little before the end. Before he could continue, Quitella interrupted him. Step aside, Belmod. You have played your part long enough. Now, it is my turn. I will be the one to extinguish the last spark of these Saiyans. Belmod replied, just do not forget, if you fail, Frieza will show you no mercy. But Quitella gave no answer. He simply kept walking forward with absolute confidence. At that moment, energy began gathering behind his back and around his fingers. It was a dark aura filled with black magic. Then, without any warning, Quitella vanished at an insane speed. He launched a direct attack toward Vegeta, but suddenly shock struck his face. He wondered where Vegeta had gone. Quitella's eyes widened in disbelief as Vegeta stood behind him. Vegeta asked if he knew what he pitied most about all of them. It is not because you are weak, Vegeta said. It is because you have lived for 1,000,000 years and still never learned the true meaning of power. You were created to protect balance, yet you choose to become obedient dogs following the orders of someone hiding in the shadows. Quitella could not endure it and shouted for him to shut up. Quitella turned around quickly, but Vegeta had already raised his finger to strike. Take a deep breath, Vegeta said, because it will be your last. Suddenly, time stopped. Everything froze as if Vegeta had severed his enemy from the world itself. Then he vanished. In less than a fraction of a second, thousands of strikes appeared behind Quitella all at once. These were punches so fast that even time itself followed them. Then came the finishing blow. Vegeta's hand pierced through Quitella's body. He had truly breathed his last. This is the price for laying a hand on my son, Vegeta declared. Quitella's body completely collapsed and fell to the ground. Even the rulers of destruction themselves stepped back in shock. They realized this surpassed the laws of Hakai itself. They decided they must combine their power against him immediately. Vegeta slowly raised his head. Who is next? He asked. My rage today will not allow any of you to survive. The title of the ruler of destruction will no longer be enough to protect you after this moment. Vado spoke, her eyes filled with concern. I understand now, she said. There is an external force influencing the Saiyans as well. This transformation is the same one that appeared in God-In. This means there is an entity granting power to the Saiyans. It is just as the Pharaoh empowers the ruler of destruction. Perhaps Goku was pulled toward that entity the same way the Pharaoh drove him away. One of the others asked nervously if that was true. They wondered why Goku had not returned yet. No one answered. Within the sealed world, Goku was watching everything unfold with anger. He sent his words to Vegeta. Vegeta, can you hear me? Goku asked. Vegeta paused for a moment. Kakarot, is that you? Vegeta asked. He asked where Goku was. Goku replied that he was inside the sealed world. He told Vegeta to listen carefully. Our sons will be fine, Goku said. The ancient king who is with me has already began affecting the outside world. That is why our children will survive as long as the healing energy continues reaching them from here. But the process still requires the original power to be completely planted within them before they can awaken. Right now, I am preparing myself to reach the ultimate pure power. I need you to keep the ruler of destruction occupied for as long as possible. Do not rush to kill them all at once. That is exactly what the Pharaoh wants in order to appear. He steals power every time you attack him. Vegeta smiled faintly. You are asking me to control myself, Vegeta said. It seems like you are asking for the impossible, Kakarot. Forgive me, but my patience will not last until you return. Goku's anger flared up even more. Your Majesty, let us begin the final stage now, Goku said. I need to get out of here quickly. Silence filled the area for a moment. Then, the darkness concealing the king slowly began to fade away. His true form was finally revealed in full. He looked at Goku and said, Very well, Goku. But remember this carefully. The final stage will not be easy at all. What you are about to enter is not training. It is a war between two souls. Goku tensed immediately. He realized that he was about to witness something beyond anything he had ever seen before. At that exact moment, one of the rulers of destruction stepped forward angrily. If one of us is not enough to finish you, then we will simply increase the numbers this time, he said. Liquier and Gin charged forward at an incredible speed and launched the first attack. But when the smoke cleared, Vegeta had not moved from his spot at all. He stood there with terrifying composure. He effortlessly held both of their fists in his hands with humiliating ease. Well then, it seems the two of you have fallen into the grasp of the Prince of Saiyans, Vegeta said. The two tried to break free, but their expressions quickly turned into genuine terror. It is impossible, one cried. I cannot move my arm. At that moment, Belmod was watching the scene with overwhelming rage. Suddenly he heard that voice once again. The Pharaoh's voice whispered from within, the particles of Hakai energy. Move, clown, the voice said. Use the absolute magic that devoured Beerus's body, or you will be the next one. Belmod trembled for a brief moment. He rushed at top speed toward Beerus's fallen body. He extended his hand toward him. A terrifying black energy began pouring out of Beerus and directly into Belmod. Meanwhile, Vegeta continued raising his power higher and higher. I will blow you both apart, Vegeta said. You idiot, one of them shouted. Belmod, save us first. But Belmod was no longer listening. He continued absorbing the black magic like a madman. It was as if he had completely lost his mind. Then, in the very next moment, Vegeta tightened his grip violently. A massive white explosion burst out from between his hands. After only a few seconds, nothing remained of them. Vegeta stood calmly in the middle of the destruction, without even a single scratch on his body. He whispered to himself, Sorry, Kakarot, but it seems I will have to increase the body count a little. I am starting to get bored. And now, let us raise the level of entertainment. At that moment, Belmod completely changed after absorbing the absolute black magic from Beerus. Then the Pharaoh's voice echoed inside his mind once again. Listen carefully, the voice said. Those Saiyans are drawing their power from the ancient king within this sealed dimension. Do not kill them directly. Sever them from this world. Start with them one by one. Belmod's eyes suddenly widened as if he had finally understood what needed to be done. Then something strange began forming in his hand. It was a black liquid substance moving as though it were a living creature. Vegeta's anger intensified as he watched what was happening. You are starting to irritate me, Vegeta said. It feels like I am fighting the same foolish copies over and over again. But before Vegeta could react, Belmod launched it at tremendous speed. The substance transformed into a massive black wave that rushed directly toward Goten and Trunks. The boys were lying unconscious on the ground. Then the dark liquid slowly began devouring their bodies. Both of them completely disappeared within it. It was as if they had been erased from existence itself. At that instant, Vegeta's fury exploded finally. He turned toward Belmod. You damn bastard, Vegeta shouted. What did you do to them? Where did you take them? Belmod laughed loudly. It seems I have finally understood the source of your power, Belmod said. That ancient king is supplying you from beyond this world. But now, the battle has become fair. And if you want to catch up to them, come. I will send you to the same place. Vegeta could not tolerate hearing another word. He vanished instantly. He grabbed Belmod by the throat before the ruler of destruction could even react. You know something, Vegeta said. Chakra is going to be angry with me later. This is because he will discover that I finished all of you before he even arrived. Vegeta then held Belmod high into the sky before shooting toward him like an arrow. A violent battle erupted, shaking the entire planet Earth. The blows were moving so fast that even the sky itself began tearing apart. The Earth trembled violently as if it were on the verge of collapse. The others were horrified. Piccolo was desperately trying to protect the unconscious Gohan amid the chaos. Whis and Vados intervened. They surrounded the Earth with a hiding barrier of energy to withstand the overwhelming pressure. The clash continued for several intense minutes. Then Vegeta suddenly stopped in the sky. A terrifying golden energy began gathering around him. "I hope you can keep this planet together," Vegeta said. "I will show this bastard no mercy." At that moment, Belmod stared at him with a ball of rage and fear, but he was given no time to recover. The attack descended upon him like a mountain itself. Seconds later, Belmod crashed into the ground completely broken. Parts of his body were shattered, and he could no longer even stand. Meanwhile, Vegeta slowly walked toward him. The flames of rage in his eyes still burned fiercely. He grabbed Belmod by the throat with one hand. The ruler of destruction remained completely helpless. The battle was already decided. "The look on your face tells me you are nothing more than a lost servant trapped in a game far bigger than you," Vegeta said. "Tell me, where did you hide them? And who is the cowardly leader hiding behind all this chaos?" At that moment, Belmod smiled in a strange, unsettling way. He spoke in a low voice. "If you want the truth, then prepare to be dragged into it yourself," he said. Suddenly, the black liquid began spreading once again like a living infection. It wrapped itself around Belmod's body before spreading toward Vegeta like a contagious curse. The substance began crawling across Vegeta's body. It was not clear what he was supposed to do. As Belmod was on the verge of disappearing together with him, he spoke. "I can see the fear on your face, Vegeta," he said. "Do not worry. You are merely a guest inside my swamp now." Vegeta smiled, even as only his face remained visible before disappearing completely. "You think you saved me completely?" Vegeta asked. "You think you dragged me in?" "No. You merely locked yourself inside the gates of hell with me trapped alongside you. Let us see what you are capable of." Then both of them vanished together. Questions immediately spread among the others. They wondered what had happened and where they had disappeared to. Wiz stepped forward. "The black magic has reached the level of dimension and transfer," Wiz said. "This battle is no longer confined to Earth alone. It has begun consuming existence itself. Even we angels can no longer sense their power." At that same moment, within the sealed dimension, the training continued. Goku launched another attack, but the king blocked it effortlessly. Then, suddenly, Goku stopped mid-training. "Vegeta, his energy disappeared," Goku cried. The king replied that this was exactly what he had warned Goku about. The pharaoh is no longer fighting within a single world. He has begun pulling the pieces into his own dimensions. If you wish to save them, then you must attain absolute power before the final gate is completely sealed. Goku clenched his fists tightly, his eyes blazing with determination. "Then we will not waste any more time," Goku said. "I will reach it no matter the cost." He resumed his training, forcing himself to focus intently on the goal. Meanwhile, in a strange dimension far beyond reality, Vegeta suddenly found himself dragged into this unknown place. Illusory cards floated in every direction around him. They moved like living creatures, secretly watching him from the shadows. "Where am I?" he asked. That bastard disappeared with Trunks and with Goten. As Vegeta struggled to understand his surroundings, a razor-sharp cut suddenly shot toward him at terrifying speed. At the very last instant, Vegeta tilted his head slightly. The blade-like cut sliced deeply across his face. "Even your own world knows you are weak," a voice said. "That is why it helps you hide like a rat." At that moment, hidden within one of the dark corners, Belmod was silently watching him. His eyes were filled with malice. "I will finish you quickly," Belmod said. "I have no time for your games." Belmod seized the opportunity and locked Vegeta from behind in a crashing hold while mocking him. "Your arrogance, Vegeta, will lead you straight into the abyss," Belmod said. "This world surpasses the sensing of power. No matter how strong you become, you will be buried here. No one will even find your remains." But Vegeta began laughing. "A ruler of destruction who needs an entire world just to hold me down," Vegeta asked. "You have become more pathetic the longer you live. If this is the best you have got, then show me what you can do now." Belmod smiled wickedly. He manipulated one of the razor-sharp energy blades spread throughout the dimension. It shot forward at insane speed, directly toward Vegeta. But at the very last second, disaster struck. The attack pierced straight through Belmod's own head. Vegeta had dodged instantly. Belmod's body collapsed as Vegeta called his head. "Even your swamp could not save you from your own stupidity," Vegeta said. But despite that, Vegeta was suddenly struck by a devastating blow from an unknown direction. He staggered violently before looking up. He saw Belmod standing before him once again, completely unharmed. Vegeta wondered how this was possible. Then Vegeta raised his head further. He saw copies of Belmod appearing endlessly out of the void itself. Belmod grinned as his laughter echoed throughout the dimension. "This is truly pathetic, Vegeta," Belmod said. "You are not fighting a single person here. You are fighting an entire world of mystery and magic. In this place, even truth itself becomes a lie." Suddenly, every clone charged toward him at once. Attacks came from all directions simultaneously. There were rapid blows and razor-sharp energy strikes. These were relentless impacts that did not even give him the chance to see clearly. Vegeta began taking hit after hit. He was unable to react as the assault rained upon him from every side. And finally, he dropped to his knees, breathing heavily. Belmod's mocking laughter filled the dark dimension. "What is wrong, Prince of Saiyans?" he asked. "I thought you would make this more entertaining. Do you know what is going to happen to you now? This place will erase your existence and your very bloodline. My magic will not leave a single one of you alive." Then, without mercy, Belmod delivered a brutal kick directly to Vegeta's face. Blood scattered through the air as Vegeta's body completely lost its balance. He then fell into the depths of that strange black liquid. It was not merely a swamp, but something that slowly devoured the soul itself. Suddenly, a distant voice began reaching him. "Vegeta, wake up," the voice said. His eyes moved with difficulty as his blurred consciousness slowly began returning. "Kakarot, is that you?" Vegeta asked. "Why are you calling me now?" "I am not finished yet. I will handle this myself. Stay out of it," Goku replied. "Listen to me carefully, Vegeta. I focused with everything I had just to reach you. I do not have much time left. You are inside the Pharaoh's own magic now. That swamp surpasses your current abilities. The more you resist it normally, the more it will consume you. Stop trying to suppress the pure power inside you. Release it completely. Let it explode throughout this entire place. But before anything else, get our sons out of there quickly. This dimension is slowly killing them." Vegeta's eyes widened instantly. With a great effort, he slowly lifted his head. He saw Goten and Trunks before him. Both were sinking deeper into the black liquid. At that exact moment, Belmod appeared behind Vegeta once again. He leaned close to his ear and whispered, "What do you think of this performance, Vegeta?" he asked. "Is it not beautiful watching the end with your own eyes? Now then, let us turn them into nothing but ashes." Belmod raised his hand and unleashed the attack. The explosion was violent, but the result was unexpected. Vegeta saved them. However, the damage he suffered was immense and agonizing. Even so, Vegeta remained standing firmly. "I will not let you touch them," Vegeta said. "Even if this is the final moment of my life, I will destroy this filthy world and protect everyone." At that moment, Vegeta began to scream. His aura erupted violently from his body. The pure energy within him started breaking through without limits. Belmod stepped back in terror. "What is this?" he shouted. "What is this bastard doing?" But it was already too late. The entire dimension began shaking uncontrollably. Vegeta managed to tear through the dark dimension and escape from it. He used the Saiyan's pure power, which completely devoured Belmod's magic. Meanwhile, in the other dimension, Goku had already reached the final stage. He was in the legendary transformation ritual. The original energy had begun gathering around him. It was preparing for the decisive moment. At that instant, the king opened his eyes and spoke. "Goku, what you are about to hear was never meant to be spoken before this moment," he said. Goku was shaken, yet remained focused. "I once maintained balance alongside the Pharaoh," the king said, "but the Pharaoh betrayed the laws and sought to dominate all universes. I fought him, and as a result, we were both sealed together under a single law because of him. There were only two conditions capable of breaking the seal. Either he would release it himself using his magic, or 3 Saiyans would attain Ultra Instinct so that I could be freed. And now, that condition has finally been fulfilled." Goku immediately asked what Beerus had to do with all of this. The king answered that Beerus descends from the ancient bloodline connected to the Pharaoh. The problem began when Beerus and the rulers of destruction started developing sympathy toward immortal beings. The pharaoh is linked to the seal placed upon me. If he escapes, then I will escape as well. That is why he was determined to keep the rulers of destruction cruel for millions of years. He did this after failing to kill me ages ago. Goku spoke in confusion. Millions of years, Goku asked. But who are you really? The king answered with a faint smile. I am Yamoshi, the first Saiyan and the first king of Kai, he said. I chose you because you are the only one who fights without becoming a tool. I have lived long enough, and I believe my departure will finally bring me peace. I am entrusting everything to you. Goku was completely shocked. What? No, Goku cried. I do not want to save the world if the price is your existence. The king replied, that is exactly why I trust you. You value life before power. Steady yourself, Goku, and focus on the future of those you love. As for me, I will always remain by your side. As tears filled Goku's eyes, a pure, radiant light burst forth from the king's body. It flowed into Goku. It swallowed the entire space with overwhelming majesty. The king's body slowly began fading away. It was as though he were becoming nothing more than the echo of an ancient memory. At the same time, Goku's body began shining with a new and incomprehensible power. It was a power that did not belong to any previous era. It belonged to a time that existed before the beginning of everything itself. In the outside world, Belmod had completely collapsed. His energy had fallen to zero, but the price had been enormous. Vegeta himself had collapsed completely. He had paid the ultimate price to save the children. With great difficulty, he raised his head and spoke. Do not deceive yourselves into thinking the end is near, Vegeta said. The Saiyan bloodline will never break. It will continue to exist, no matter how hard you try to erase it. This is not only my pride, it is the pride of every Saiyan who fought throughout history. We did not disappear. Then he lifted his gaze toward the sky as if sensing a distant presence. And Kakarot will return, he said. And when he does, he will not leave you even the chance to remember this day. Then his muscles relaxed and he collapsed completely unconscious. He lay beside the children, who still could not fully comprehend what had happened. The rulers of destruction watched silently, but rage consumed them. One of them mocked Vegeta. Kakarot, that name you cling to as if it were your last salvation, they asked. Let him return if he can. By then, he will discover that there is nothing left for him to fight over. Then all of them began charging their energy. The cosmic pressure rose to such a terrifying level that even the air itself seemed to stop. At that moment, one of the others cried out desperately. Where is Goku now? They asked. Where is he when we need him? Caulifla screamed for someone to do something. We cannot end like this, she cried. But Vados and Wiz remained where they stood without interfering. The tension on their faces was obvious. Wiz spoke calmly. Any intervention from us now could disrupt the balance more than it would restore it, he said. But I am certain this cannot end so simply. A key will appear when it becomes necessary from the proper path. It will lead to an ending far greater than we expect. As the moment of annihilation drew near, they gathered enough energy. One of them shouted that the battle shall witness their completed mission. Then they unleashed the attack. Suddenly a golden light crashed down upon them like thunder. It exploded with a force that shook both the earth and the heavens together. The rulers of destruction were partially thrown down to the ground. This was not merely an attack. It was a declaration of a new presence. Everyone raised their heads in astonishment. The sky was no longer the same. All of them were left speechless. Even those who could resist the previous pressure now felt something far greater had begun. From within that light, a figure slowly began to appear. And then Goku emerged, but he was no longer the same as before. He stood within a pure golden aura. It was as if it were the origin of an ancient energy untouched since the beginning of existence. His expression had transformed into a strange calm mixed with absolute confidence. The energy surrounding him was no longer merely power. It had become an entirely different state of existence. It was as if the Kai itself had regained its original form within him. Everyone stared at him in complete silence, unable even to ask questions. Goku turned his gaze toward the rulers of destruction. He was fully aware of why he had not completely destroyed them. I will not end this battle here, Goku said. I will lead it toward its greatest conclusion. I am waiting for you, Frieza. And now, before we end this episode, my friends, I have some important questions. I want logical answers from all of you. Do you think Goku will eliminate the Lord of Destruction, or will he forgive them? And the second question, Could the Grand Priest stand on Goku's side now? Now that the truth has finally been revealed, will he remain in the shadows out of fear of Frieza? And what would Zeno's reaction be if he were to discover everything that is truly happening? The story shows that what happened was not merely a visible clash of power. It was a conflict driven by hidden wills manipulating events from behind the scenes. The decisions of Vegeta, the Lord of Destruction, and even Goku's path were all influenced indirectly. It was as though everyone were trapped inside a plan far greater than themselves without realizing it. It is certainly difficult to find a definitive answer, but write your theories in the comments. I will see you there. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe so you will not miss episode 5. See you soon.